On behalf of all of us at REACH, I'm going to be speaking about how survivor-led networks have been driving adherence and helping people with DRTB specifically through treatment pathways. Of course, we're delighted to be part of the Fast Track the Cure Consortium 2.0, like James mentioned, and build on the work that so many amazing partners have done. I have no conflict of interest to report. So John Green said this morning about how so many of us have our own Henrys, and I think that's one of the biggest privileges of doing the work that we've been able to do for the last several decades. And the young woman in the green on the right side of this image is 26-year-old Afreen. Afreen travels about 11 kilometers every morning from her home to the tertiary hospital in Delhi, the capital of India, where every day she speaks to people who've been newly diagnosed with drug-resistant TB. And I think really is that first point of, oh my God, I have drug-resistant TB. What does it mean? She helps them just come to terms with that diagnosis. She helps them sort of look at what's coming next, what's ahead of them for the next few months. And she does this balancing act along with, of course, the medical care that's provided. She helps them understand the regimen that you're on. It's a shorter regimen. It's something that you don't have to be scared of and so on. So what Afreen, like many other TB champions, has really been able to do is use her own lived experience of TB as a TB survivor and help translate that into very tangible peer support that she's able to provide to people with DRTB every day, literally. For those of you very quickly who are not familiar with the history of the TB champion movement in India, this goes back to about 2015-16 and has evolved considerably, like James said, over the last decade. Today, TB champions educating communities about TB and DRTB. They're working with elected representatives. They're addressing stigma. And of course, they're supporting people with TB and DRTB. What we've been able to do through this particular work that began about 6 months ago is really building community capacity on drug-resistant TB, which, like all of us in the room will agree, is incredibly complex to understand in terms of both the diagnostic cascade and, until recently, the very complex treatment regimens that were the only choice available. What we've done so far is 5 workshops where 102 TB champions have been trained so far. Now, this training is really about combining both knowledge and skills. So one, how do we equip TB champions like Afreen with the knowledge of drug-resistant TB, but also how do we equip them with the skills to take this knowledge to their communities, to really talk about even what is resistance conceptually, right? So the focus is both on their own personal lived experience and their experience as TB champions. And of course, this is followed by a lot of mentoring support over the course of the engagement period as well. The woman in the right image in a dark red sari is Veera Lakshmi. She's a TB champion from Tamil Nadu, a district, state in southern India. And again, like Afreen, every day Veera Lakshmi travels to a health center and talks to people with DRTB. And one of the things we've been trying to figure out in the context of the introduction of the BPAL and BPALM, the shorter regimens, is how does this peer support get operationalized? How decentralized can treatment be made available? Where is that first point of contact? And this remains work in progress that we're trying to understand and will continue to try to understand over the next few months. But basically, in that first contact, the objective of what this broad umbrella of peer support is really, like I said, treatment literacy, what to expect and when to expect it, completing that diagnostic cascade, have all the tests been done, emphasizing the importance of nutritional support and looking at available social support schemes in India and making sure those linkages have been established. And from month 2 onwards, it's really about that follow-up. And it's about providing that emotional support, being that person that is available, whether on the phone or at the health facility, to really reassure and, sort of say, okay, look, you are going to be cured of TB. It is not the end of your life. And I think that's the biggest role that TB champions play. I'm not going to go into each of these questions, but really, I think where the TB champions' role in drug-resistant TB is a combination of providing that information, providing that emotional support, but also because I think very often not everyone can remember that cascade by heart, right? And to sort of say, okay, have you done this now? And have you done that at this point? And to sort of know, and also look at how are things at home. Who else is going to talk to them about stigma, like James said? So whether it's self-stigma or whether it's stigma or discrimination they might be experiencing within their communities. Do they have drugs? Are they having any side effects? So these are, I mean, this is by no means an exhaustive checklist, and it's really driven by each individual TB champion's own intuitive understanding of the person sitting in front of them and how they can help them cope with drug-resistant TB. So just very quickly before I end, some sense of numbers and where we're at. As I said, we've trained what we set out to do in terms of 102 TB champions. Now, these TB champions have so far organized 714 community meetings through which they've educated 16,360 people on both drug-resistant TB, the shorter regimens that are available, and so far about 70 plus people with DRTB have been provided peer support. And this is work that we will continue to build on. And I think what has been evident so far in terms of the peer support piece, I just want to quickly say before I end, is I think one of the things we want to understand is what is that experience of the shorter regimens? And this is some documentation work that we hope to be doing over the next few months. And of course, I also want to say that we will be having an opportunity to build on this work and expand on it through the Unitate-supported upcoming RESPECT project led by Stop TB Partnership. So I think with all the synergies that we're able to pull together, this is really a great opportunity for us to build community capacity on drug-resistant TB. And we're very grateful to be able to do this work, and a big thank you to TB Alliance for making this possible. Thank you so much.